You guys, we did it. We've conquered all. We've conquered the keyword that I told you we were going to conquer. Dental implants Miami, rank position 1. It is official now. It is officially there. It's officially number 1. In my last video, I talked a little bit about how I was ranking it, and I made this video right here, and it was position 3. And now, if you look at the history and the chart here, you can see the progression over the month for the specific keyword. So in January 8th, you can see that the phrase was position 16. And then we did some slight SEO optimizations to the actual page, and it was position 13. Then it was position 10. It dropped back down to position 12, moved up to position 9, moved up to position 4, moved up to position 2, stayed at position 2 for a very long time. 18, 19, 21, 22, etc. Then the Holy Grail hit, and now it is position 1. And my friends, this is by far the keyword that gets the most impressions and clicks inside of Google Search Console for this client implant center of Miami. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how this was conquered, what our next steps are. And that's not the only keyword phrase. As you can see, there's a lot of phrases moving up inside of this actual campaign that we're doing, this SEO campaign that we're doing with our client. And this is an average thing that you can see inside of an SEO campaign when you structure the website correctly. Now, when you go to make an organic search, Dental Implants Miami, you'll see that the keyword phrase is inside of the first result. And this is not something, I'm telling you, this is not something that's average, that somebody can just do and just whip out a laptop and just say, you know what, boom, I'm going to rank this keyword for Dental Implants Miami. I'm going to get them #1 page rankings, and I'm going to make a bet that I can do it. It's not common. I'm just letting you know that it takes a lot of skill. It took a lot of work, and our team busted their asses to get this result. And this is not the only result we're going to do for this client. We are going to keep the series continuing, and we're going to rank different keyword phrases. But I did want to show you guys that it is, in fact, ranking on the first page like we said we would. So in the last video, when I made this one, this was in January 17th. Today, as I'm recording, it is January 26th. So roughly about 10 days it took to move over to that first position. And we got a lot of comments of why different people thought that it would have ranked. A lot of people thought, you're using YouTube to rank it. I can't stress enough, but it's helped a lot. There's a lot of different things that people are saying inside of here as to what it is that helped them rank this actual keyword phrase. And in reality, it's just good SEO practice, guys. When you get better at doing something because you spend 10,000 hours doing it, you're going to get better results faster. That's just the case being. That's just the case in point. And if you can focus on building out great websites with great user experience, great site architecture, great keyword clutters, and more keyword phrases to rank for, like dental implant repair, right? This is a service page that we created for this actual site. If you can start focusing on creating quality content on the website, you're going to have a much easier time ranking it and getting that keyword to rank for different types of phrases, right? So a lot of times when we do these different types of things, we use a tool called Nightwatch to actually go in and track this. And since the beginning, since we've made this first video, you can see that the keyword, Google's algorithm plays a dance. Google's algorithm is working for us because we're working with a good client that has good results. And you can see this movement up and down. When you start from position 16, right? Position 16. This was January 8th. The position was 16. This is when I started tracking this keyword inside of Nightwatch. And then all of a sudden, it's all the way at #1, right? What exactly happens there? What do you think was the key reason for that ranking? I'd love to hear you guys out. I'd love to know what you think it was. Leave a comment down below and let me know what it was. But in this video today, we are going to talk about further planning and how to optimize different keywords and how to get them to the top for their other keyword phrases, which one of the big ones is emergency dentist, which is going to be our next competitive phrase that we're going to rank for Implant Center of Miami, just like we did dental implants. With that being said, since we got the challenge, we did get a really good review from the client that basically said they were referred to us by his business colleague, they were skeptical, and they delivered. We are now #1 for our most valuable keyword, which is true. If you go into Google search and just type that in, you can actually see that. And, in the performance of that, you can see that an overall trend of more impressions and clicks start to happen because of that. Where if you look at it in the past, like 12 months per se, this is the type of stuff when you start start to get more page rankings. You can see the drastic increase in impressions and clicks when you start to work and do the SEO the right way. You can see that when you start, it's in September, November. I don't remember when we got the client. Neil, if you're watching this, let me know when we started working together. Then you can see that just by doing some page optimizations, the amount of impressions go up, and now we're working on the click-through rate going up. And this is the type of stuff to expect when you start getting more top 1-page rankings inside of that search result. So, not only does this go up, the visibility of the site in general goes up, the calls go up, the traffic goes up, the web form goes up, the chats go up. All of this stuff is working in conjunction with the rankings. And when you get more of them, all of this stuff starts to go up as much as possible. Now, to be very clear with you guys, we work with clients on a 12-month basis. So this is I'm not sure when we started with this client, to be very honest with you. And we had some months where we kind of paused service because of specific reasons and stuff like that. But what I can tell you is this is at least within 90 days, this traffic spike can happen. Once we delivered the site, once we redesigned the website, these projections started skyrocketing up. And this is critical to the SEO campaign, because if you have a site that's performing here, if you have a site that's performing, and it's getting 58 impressions in Google search, you might as well not even have a website, right? But then when you start bringing it to the 1,791, this is something that's very common with our clients. Now, where I'm going to get these guys is somewhere where no other dentist in that area has. And we start to look at, these different data sets and things like that, the last 6 months. If you look at something like this, starting from a place to where there was absolutely no impressions inside of the search results, like 948. And then today where we're at, whenever this wants to load, where we're at today, which can be in the 15,000s, above those different types of metrics, and you start at a couple hundred and get them to there, you can drastically increase the free organic traffic count that's going towards a website. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how we're going to strategize Emergency Dentist, and you're going to see exactly how we do this step by step. Okay, everyone. So to start, always look at where that keyword phrase is already ranking. So inside of our keyword tracker tool here, you can see that we have a good overall look at Emergency Dentist Miami. So this is a keyword phrase that's currently positioned 35. So if I were to type this keyword phrase inside of the actual Google search engine, if I were to go to Google and type in Emergency Dentist Miami, you're going to know that this page is probably on the 4th or 5th page. So if I scroll down, I'm not going to find our client here, right? This is just not reality. But the thing that scares me about this keyword phrase is they have a lot of emergency keywords inside of the domain. So you can see like this one is Emergency Dentist 24/7. I'm not really worried about this page or this page, to be honest with you, because you can see in the URL, these are extensions of this actual domain. So it's not like this company is directly in Miami. I'm not sure if they are. It looks like it's more of like a service area. But I can tell you right now that this is kind of a threat for us to rank for this kind of keyword phrase, because it does have emergency inside of the URL directly. And then the second result also has emergency inside of the URL. And the reason why this is important is because there's an algorithm called phrase match domains, which basically says if you have the keyword inside of your domain, you can rank for that phrase a lot better. For example, Dental Implants Miami, the client that we're working with inside of this service area, they have implant and Miami inside of their domain. So this is going to help us with Emergency Dentist Miami because we already have one of those keyword phrases inside of our actual URL. So what we'll do is we'll focus on the emergency page, and I'm going to show you how we're going to build relevancy towards that page and build out some content and backlinks towards that page so we can get it ranking. But overall, it's very critical to know that when you're doing this, this is basically the research phase that we go through. We look through and we see what are we competing with, right? What are we actually competing with to go in and find out what we're going to do to combat this? So the first thing I notice is that there is a featured snippet. So this seems to be the most accurate result for emergency dentists for some reason. And when I look at that, I really want to know what is making this page so special. And when I look at this website, it looks very plain. You know, you have dental services and dental emergencies, emergency dental services in Doral, Florida. You have a forum. You have this right here. Then you have this stuff here. Very basic page. So at that point, it makes me wonder what else is behind this page, and we're going to talk about some competitive research right now. So what I like to do is I like to open up a tool called Ahrefs and go to Keyword Explorer and then type in Emergency Dentist Miami. So when I do that, it's going to show me all of the pages that are ranking on the first page. And this emergency dentist 24/7, that's one of them right there. And you can see that this page right here, it's showing me the highest accurate targeted keywords. So emergency dental Miami, that's emergency dentist Miami, emergency dental, emergency dental. These are all keyword phrases that we're going to have to use and put into our content if we're going to want to rank this phrase #1 on Google, or at least on the top of the first page, which would bring in new patients to the actual practice. Now, one thing that's also cool to note is, one thing I like doing is I like looking at, when I go through this and I look through the top competitors onto this page, the same way that I did implants, dental implants Miami, because if I typed in dental implants Miami per se inside of this keyword explorer, this tool is awesome for keyword research because it basically shows you what the top results are. But I will be honest with you, Nightwatch does get data a lot faster than Ahrefs does in terms of rankings. But I do like to do this once it's all inside of here because it'll show me the different types of domain ratings and stuff like that. So what's cool about this is I can see the average domain rating, the DR. And if you guys aren't familiar with what domain rating or domain authority is basically on a scale from 1 to 100, obviously higher being stronger, how likely a URL is to rank for that specific keyword phrase. So generally speaking, the higher the domain rating, the higher the domain authority, the more likely that that website is going to rank at the top of the Google search engine for those actual search phrases. And we do this because we go in and we optimize for backlinks and we get citations and we do social signals to the website, which increases its overall domain authority. So the fact that a domain rating of 4 is ranking at the top of the Google search engine basically tells us that we can rank the same phrase by just optimizing our page more than we have it optimized now. But to start, we have to look at what it is that we're currently ranking for right now. So a really good way to do this is to look at emergency dentist Miami, right? So I have emergency dentist Miami. That's my keyword phrase. So if I look at this keyword phrase, it's telling me that Google wants to rank emergency dentist Miami on this emergency page, this ranking URL that we have. So if I scroll down over here and I look at this emergency page, I can go in and take this page and put it into a tool like Ahrefs, and I can figure out what's currently ranking on that page and where. And this is a good indication for me to see because it's going to tell me exactly where things are. So I can't see these different types of keywords, but basically, looking at this page right now, when we do this, we want to figure out how can we better optimize this page to rank for the dental emergencies, right? So this page currently is not as optimized as it should be. And the reason I know that is because it's not our typical format that we have like our other pages. For example, if I search single tooth replacement Miami, this page should show up, and you can see that this page is optimized a lot different than other ones. So you have single tooth replacement right here inside of the actual tag, and you have nice content. You have an image that has an image attribute tag. You have internal links. You have different call to actions. You have different things right here which are wonderfully placed on the website, and you have nice content reviews and stuff like that. Whereas this emergency page, well, it has emergency in the URL and it has this content here, which is fine, but also it's not really, there's not a lot of user navigation and user experience going on for this actual post. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to find out all of the keywords that have to do with emergency, and we're going to propose to the client to build all of those keywords onto the website so that we can create content clusters just like we did with dental implants to link back and create a algorithmic consistency here for the emergency type of keywords. Now, I think that we have built a lot of these emergency different types of phrases, but I don't think that they're visible on the actual site. So a really good way to do that, a really good way to check without having to go through the back end, is I can go in here and I can just type in this, and you can see we have a lot of these emergency stuff already created here. So you have bone grafting, jaw surgery, treatment options. So let's take a look at one of these URLs and see what's going on with this actual page and see how it's built to see if we can optimize better for the emergency page. So what are some common dental emergencies? This is just treatment options. So these are different types of treatments that we can do. When we start going through this SEO campaign, like we're going to show you, we're going to internally link back to toothache, bleeding gums, loose tooth, numb tooth, swollen jaw, metal taste. These are all different types of things that we're going to link back and create. So you can see that this page is already created, and it should link back to our emergency page, but it's not. So that's something that we're going to instruct our SEO experts to do. Same thing with jaw surgery. Let's take a look at the jaw surgery page, and you can see that because we're creating emergency, which is a category, right? It's a subfolder subfolder instead of a subdomain. It's a subfolder, and then jaw surgery is a part of that subfolder. You can see that this jaw surgery, emergency jaw surgery, content, image, content, bullet, content, broken up with different call to actions, which is great. But this page formatting might be the reason why this search result is in the actual, is in this 35th position. So you can see right here, this swollen jaw relief Miami. This tool is telling me that it's actually ranking. So let me just double check that. Swollen jaw relief Miami. This is the type of thing that we're going to want to do is get all of these keyword phrases to rank. So for some reason, I can't see it here, but this tool is telling me that it's first. It could just be updating. But ideally, we're going to want to optimize this page for the different types of emergency keywords. So whenever we do that, the first thing that I like to do is I like to search this keyword or this page inside of Google search. And if I do this, it's going to show me exactly what the title tag is. So Emergency Dentist, Miami, Florida, Implant Center of Miami. And you can see that there's two pages that say one's dental emergencies and one is emergency. So since Night Watch is already telling us that the emergency page is what's ranking for this actual page, I need to focus on this page and I need to focus on my efforts on this specific phrase rather than going for a different page. Oftentimes when you're doing SEO, you want to stick to the page that's already ranking. You want to go to the page that's already showing up in Google Search Console or Google Search in general. So I'm going to focus on this emergency page and see what I can do to optimize this search phrase better than anybody else. So remember, we already saw what was kind of working here, right? People have emergency inside of their title tag, their meta descriptions, and we really want to follow that. So with my result, I want to ask myself, do I have emergency dentist, which I do, inside of the actual meta description here, and it looks like I do. But furthermore, I want to get some Lsi keywords, which are latent semantic keywords that basically are synonyms of the phrase that we're trying to rank for. Because if someone types in emergency dentist, that's just one keyword. So the content on this page is going to have more than just emergency dentist Miami, Florida. So it's going to have more than this specific phrase here. It might need some other things that we can now internally link to, since we have this actual sitemap here with the different pages already built out for emergency. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan this out accordingly. I'm going to go into any keyword research tool. It can be Ahrefs, it can be Google Keyword Planner, whatever it is, and I'm going to search emergency dentist, and I'm going to find out all of the different keyword phrases that people are typing into the Google search and that we don't currently have on our actual site. So what I like to do is I like looking at having same terms. I like looking at questions. I like looking at newly discovered. I like looking at all four of these different columns that really talk about the different keyword phrases that people are typing in. So the first one I like to do is open up the actual keyword ideas by search volume. I like opening up the questions. I like opening up the also rank for and obviously the newly discovered. So this right here should give you an unlimited amount of different keyword ideas, and you want to make sure that you're writing content of all of these keyword ideas in clusters so that you can rank very similarly to how we did dental implants. So when somebody goes over here and they hover over dental emergencies welcome, that this is where the physical emergency page is linked to, we can create these different pages, this drop down of content, these content clusters that goes in and gets that done. So for example, let's look at some of these keyword phrases and let's just make sure that we're optimizing for these different phrases, right? So emergency dentist obviously seems like it's the one. So my title tag should say emergency dentist, which it does, because that's the one that is being searched the most. And when we do this, we like to prioritize the search volume as much as possible. So if the search volume is 23,000, we want to prioritize that in the title tag, the meta description, and anything along those lines as much as possible to make sure that we're going to be able to rank for that. So what I like to do here is I like to put this into, typically speaking, a Google Sheet or something along those lines where I can track this stuff. So generally speaking, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to open up a simple Google Sheets, and I'm going to create a roadmap. Now that we've gotten the implants, now I'm going to create a roadmap that we're going to be able to complete to actually get this, emergencies ranked. So what I like to do is I like to do what is the keyword? And guys, this is a very, very simple thing. There's not a perfect way to do this. This is just an example for this video. We have much more complicated tracking than this, but I just wanted to show you the general senses here. Okay, so you have the keyword, you have the URL that we're proposing. So we want to make sure that the SEOs that are creating the site actually have an example of the URL. You have the H1, you have the H2, and you have the H3, right? So we want to get clear on what these are right here. So the keyword is emergency dentist. So this emergency dentist can actually rank on this same page because it's already ranking. And then I also like to just basically put in, where it's currently ranking for this actual page if we already have one created. So I might do something like current ranking just to see where it's ranking existing for this actual phrase. So Nightwatch is telling me that this keyword phrase is ranking at 35. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. So that's going to rank on that page. Let's look at some similar keywords as well. Emergency dentist near me. It's kind of difficult to rank for near me's. These are more geolocation. Open now. So this is, look at this. This right here is definitely a keyword phrase we want to rank for. So I'm going to do emergency dentist near me, open now. That's definitely going to rank on that page. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that we add near me, open now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here because it's going to be under the same URL. And then I'm just going to make it known that this, when I give this off to my SEOs, that this is categorized by most importance to least important for the actual emergency dentist phrase, right? So, this is a good way to categorize it if you're planning on doing this. So let's take a look at some other different keyword phrases that we have to create. Emergency dentist 24/7, 24 hours. This is definitely a keyword phrase that we want to add inside of here, someone that's open 24 hours. Now, I do think inside of this content that we have written for this page, we do have 24 hours. I don't think, actually we don't. Yeah, so we don't even have a 24-hour thing going on this page. You can see that it's not even in the title tag. It says 24 hours. And because it's not in the title tag, Google's not going to know that this practice is open 24 hours. So we're going to want to make sure that this page is optimized as much as possible to ensure that it is open for 24 hours. Then you have emergency dentist with near me with no insurance. What a key word, right? What a phrase. This is a person that needs help right now and has no insurance. So that's generally speaking a good patient for a practice because you want to make sure that you get these patients. So I might consider creating a no insurance page. But for now, we're just going to keep it under this emergency dentist page, okay? So that's good to go. Then let's take a look at more. Dentist emergency, 24 hours. Emergency walk-in dentistry. That's a good keyword. So this is somebody who's curious if they could just walk in and get service on those specific hours, which could be the case, right? So let's move that down. And then let's keep going. So emergency dentist, children's emergency dentist. That could be a keyword phrase. Now this right here might be on a different page, right guys? So, if it's not gonna rank on this emergency page, if it's a children's, that's a completely different topic. A good way to understand if you are going to rank on a different page, or a good way to understand if you wanna create a separate page to rank a different type of keyword phrase, is if you look at the parent topic here, right? So you can see that the parent topic is pediatric dentist. Oftentimes, that's a good sign that we can do children's. Right, that's a good sign that we would have to create a new page because this is completely different than just an emergency dentist. We would want to make one specifically for children's emergency dentistry. I hope that makes sense. And then let's keep moving. So emergency dentist pediatric, no insurance, that take Medicaid. We might want to indicate that inside of this actual search result and get clear with the client if they actually do take Medicaid, if that's the case. If they don't, then you might want to create that piece of content. Offices, pretty standard stuff here, guys. So then let's move on to the different ones that we have here, which are the questions, right? So how to find an emergency dentist, dental emergencies when you don't have a dentist, how to get an emergency dentist appointment. These are all different keyword phrases that we can add inside of this actual sheet tracking here and start creating that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill this out for our team to implement. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and edit this page and also add add different pages to this website that's going to be able to get it to rank for these different types of phrases and get it to become that top spot for the emergency dental keyword phrase. The goal with this campaign is at the end of 12 months, when we've done a lot of work with this client, is to look at this keyword, at this report, and look and just see, out of average position, when we start with the client, their average position is 31, as you can see right here. If their average position is 31 and we move that up to 9, right, that means we're doing a better job for our SEO for their target keywords that they're trying to rank for. The same thing goes with search visibility. If we have search visibility at 6.292 and this goes up and up and up, that means we're doing a good job, and we can typically see that this is going up. Generally speaking, the more indexed pages that you have, the more you're going to rank and get more search visibility, which is going to increase your click potential, which is going to increase the amount of customers that the business is going to get from your SEO service or whatever it is that you're doing. And then also the keyword distribution. If I can get the keyword distribution to increase, if I can get more keywords in the top 3, well, generally speaking, it's been proven that more keywords that are in the top 3 search results generally have a higher click-through rate. And if I can get my client a higher click-through rate, they're going to keep using our services, which is one thing, but they're also going to go ahead and get more keywords ranking in the top search results. So this is one thing that we look at as we look at this report, and we over the years term, we look at this data and we see where are we performing better and what can we do better at. And month over month, we keep optimizing for this, like we're going to show you with the emergency dental page. And because of that, we keep ranking and we keep getting this stuff going. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Our next step is to rank the emergency dental page, and we're going to do so by creating a really good site user navigation. We're going to do by creating similar content. We're going to be doing it by organizing that content so it's done properly, and we're going to get this stuff ranking, and we're going to show you all over the shoulder. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.